welcome back to the University Speaking podcast for episode number 4, I think it is now, depending on what order I choose to upload this in. Joining
Haven't
me
been
again,
cancelled yet then, no?
I've not introduced you yet. That's twice. That's twice you've jumped in.
They
The
can see me. If they're
surprise.
watching the video, they can see me.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. Anyway, joining me again, as you'll have heard and seen, is Sam from 2 3/4 fame. I hope you've looked at the proper names this time.
I'm going to go like polar opposite. I'm going to give them their full name treatment every single time. So
Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure.
thankfully, that one doesn't appear on today's list. But yes, that is very much what I'm going for.
If you haven't listened to the previous episode, I mean, go listen just for Sam butchering all the names. It's worth it just for that.
I'm hoping you've actually cut a few of them out, but I guess we'll find out.
All will be revealed in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So we were also supposed to be joined once more by Cassie today, but unfortunately, she had to drop out last minute, which she's very sad about, as are we. Big shame. I mean, especially as in last week's episode, she was like the mediator between us two. Honestly, so I'm kind of gutted myself just for that reason alone.
You've lost some protection for
I
tonight.
have, yeah. It's like there's literally no one in between because she like took both of our sides. She was like, "Yeah, I get where you're both coming from." Whereas today, it's just like I'm on my own with you. I'm making it like you're really scary. I don't know why I'm doing that.
We might have the exact same list. You never know.
I mean, the chances of that. I mean, Stardust races alone. if I've got it up there, then I've been lying to everyone.
I think you are. I honestly think secret roller coaster lover.
A hot take. Secret, yeah, the biggest secret ever. I'm just really good at hiding it.
Would you put Velocicoaster above or below Fast and Furious?
Above,
Okay,
above.
there we
Yeah,
go.
I
That's
didn't.
something.
I didn't even have to think about that. Yeah, above.
So I'm interested to see what you put Stardust above today,
Yeah,
or don't.
it is quite interesting. To be fair, that was probably the. I mean, we're giving away what we're doing already, but that was
I was going to
probably.
say, have we even introduced like what we're actually discussing?
No, but again, people have seen the title. Do we need to introduce it? No one's just clicked on it and gone, "What's this they're talking about?" Everyone knows, surely, from the title of this episode. But no, to be fair, Stardust Races was probably the toughest for me. I don't have a clue where to put a massive roller coaster that I'm not even sure if I'm going to go on. So yeah,
I think you are going on it based on some comment that I saw on a story earlier. I
what
think you
comment
are
was
going on it.
that?
On about you most looking forward to Stardust.
I mean, yeah,
From no point, was it?
that was tongue in cheek to see if anyone saw it, and unfortunately, people have seen it. It was just a bit of banter, and you can't do anything these days without people bullying you onto roller coasters.
If it's in writing, it's official. It's happening. We
Anyway,
bullied you onto Velocicoaster. We will bully you onto Stardust.
you need to get that on a t-shirt or something.
Yeah.
That's our first merch.
There we go.
Bully people onto roller coasters. We don't condone bullying. I mean, you can bully me, but that's all right. Draw the line. Right, before we ramble on anymore, so as we mentioned last week, we did our Epic Universe land hype lists. It was interesting to say the least, I think you'll say, Sam. So go back and check that out if you haven't done so already. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, you didn't go where I thought you were going to go with it.
No, but that was good.
But each to their own. At the end of the day, we all like what we like and we don't
Exactly.
like what we don't. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
there was a lot
interesting.
there was a lot of talk of rides in that episode. Now we can definitely talk about rides this week. We're doing our Epic Universe rides hype list, as we've already mentioned, as you all know. I don't know what you think, Sam, but I found this so much easier than the lands.
Yeah, I agree. And I did mine when I thought my next trip was going to be the family trip. So some of these I've probably hyped a little bit as Dad Sam, and looking to experience them with Joey. So I haven't changed my list. I think it still stacks up. But like I was saying just before we started recording, some of them I'm hyped for, but I don't necessarily think they're going to be my favorite rides longer term. So it'll be interesting to see how that maybe follows on, once I've been to Epic this time or next time. Like if we do a favorite list or actually most enjoyable list or whatever we want to call it, I think it'd look very, very different. And I guess the other thing is as well, I don't know about you, but whilst the list was easier, I'm trying to keep somewhat spoiler free. So it's hard
Yeah,
to do a hype list when you're actually purposely trying to avoid seeing what the
Yeah,
rides are about.
that is
So again,
that
it
is a
might be that
great
I've
point.
completely placed some of them miles away from where they deserve to be, but it is what it is, I guess, if you try to keep spoiler free.
Yeah, that is a great point because obviously I've written a little bit about each ride, and for most of them I've put I don't really know much about it. Obviously, I know the premise if it's a roller coaster or whatever, but I've not watched any POVs other than Stardust to see if I could potentially survive on that
So I
roller
haven't
coaster or
I haven't
not.
done that. No.
But yeah, there's so many rides. I'm like, I don't know much about other than this or that. So, like you say, it could be completely different once we've ridden it. Who who knows? Who
We're all
knows?
on the abuse from everyone, I'm sure.
Surely we can't get abused for this.
We can get abused for the world's longest intro
And that is
and
true,
not
yeah.
actually starting on. So
People like just get
good.
on with it, just talking absolute nonsense for 15 minutes.
Oh, good fun. Do you want to
Right
start
then.
us off then, Jay?
Yeah, gonna say let's get into it because otherwise we'll be here a very
My
long time.
bedtime soon.
Yeah, yeah, we are recording quite late. So yeah, I'll as you went first last time, Sam, I think I'll go first. So my number 11 is again it's changed. It's changed. I
You
did
told me you
some
weren't going to change. You told me you was going to go with it,
I
and that was
can't
that.
help it. So I did my list like a few weeks ago, and it was pretty set, but I just love tinkering. I just love
You got
little
a
tweaks
fetish for
here and there.
concrete, I think, based on the last
Oh,
episode.
here we go again. Here we go again. Please let me know. I mean, I've seen some positive stuff about Celestial Park. So anyway, for my number 11, I'm not going to Celestial Park. I'm going to Isle
Ooh,
of Burke, and I've gone for
interesting.
Dragon Racers Rally in my number 11.
Ooh, that is a hot take.
Already, that's the first one. Can't be that hot, surely. So I had a brief look at the ride system because, to be honest, I actually wasn't too sure what it was like really, or how intense it was. I could only remember the concept art, the picture. It was obviously difficult to tell how kind of intense or it was. So I did have a brief look at a snippet of a video in terms of what it was about, a very like 2 or 3 seconds. And I'm just not really sold on the ride system. It doesn't look appealing to me, like that kind of eagle claw like ride vehicle, I think it is. And when I was watching
Yeah.
this video of the ride, I was like kind of scrunching my face up somewhat. And I think that kind of told me everything I need to know. I was like, not too sure about that one. And I'm not even sure if I would go on it or not. I've got to see it in person to see what it's like. So yeah, Dragon Racers Rally is going to be number 11 for me. I'm guessing
Interesting.
it's not your number 11 by your reaction.
It's not miles away
We
from
all
my
know
11,
what
to be
we all
honest.
know what your 11 is. You hate Celestial Park.
I don't hate. Like I said, I think longer term, my favorite ride is going to be in Celestial Park. But where I'm going is Celestial Park to start us off,
Yeah,
and that's going to be Constellation Carousel,
you got the name right at
which
least.
I know I had to read it like really slowly. Um, I think it looks good. I think it looks, decent. Apparently some good like effects on it. As far as carousels go, I think it's going to be up there.
Mhm.
But it is just a carousel at the end of the day, and
Yeah,
even in dad mode, I can't get too excited about it, I'm afraid. So number 11, but I'm sure we will be riding it a few times along the way.
yeah, fair enough. I think probably most people have it 11. I think not 100%. Maybe not
I mean,
most.
not you,
Maybe
clearly, but yeah.
yeah, not me. I'm just very. I mean, we all know I'm different anyway.
It's
Don't
going to
need
be
to.
on number one, isn't it, after last week's show?
No, yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if I put that number one? No, because that would be
This
full
is
on
my
like
last episode, by the way. If it is your number one, that's it.
no, no, no. That is a step too far. As much as I love Celestial Park, it wouldn't quite be my number one. So moving on to my number 10 is Yoshi's Adventure.
Hmm.
More noises from Sam over there. I'm sure it'll be very sweet, very chilled out little ride. But again, as far as I know, it's just a slow kids ride. As far as I believe, it will be pretty cool to see Super Nintendo World kind of sat down on a ride from above. That I will say, I don't know. Again, I don't know how much inside ride there is or outside. I've not looked at anything, but I'm sure it'll be pretty cool. But for a kids ride, yeah, doesn't really do much for me. So that's gonna be my number 10.
Yeah, and the frustrating bit from at least my perspective is the height requirement is 34 inches, which isn't necessarily the highest, but you are talking like a 2, 3 year old to be that sort of,
I was gonna say, I know
age and
you're
height
small, Sam, but I think you'll be all right.
borderline. But when you think of that type of ride and the system, you imagine in our scenario taking L on board, not a plane. You imagine me able to take L on it, but actually she's not gonna be able to ride it until probably the next trip after. Same in like High in the Sky Sue's trolley. That's got like a 36-inch height requirement, but you think it is that pretty much slow moving, smaller kid ride, but
So how can
got
L do one fish, two fish, and not Yoshi's Adventure? Like,
I think
surely
it's just
that.
too. Well, should we rewind? How can she do Stoneforce Acceleron
Yeah, that's
and not
another
that?
one. That
I
makes
think
no
it's
sense.
Yeah, it's just the ride vehicle, I guess. I think because I don't know about Yoshi, but High in the Sky Sue's trolley, it's a lap bar.
Hmm.
So it must just be the way the lap bar is. They must have to be a certain height or whatever. But yeah, strange times. But yeah, my number 10 is Dragon Racers Rally. So not that far away
Yeah, not too
from
far.
where you had it, to be fair. And very similar to you, to be honest. I think it's just something else. They probably looked at the list of attractions and thought, we ain't got that many.
Need
We
something
probably need to
else.
stick a couple of extra in.
Yeah.
And going back to the Doctor Doom analogy of Fairgroundy, this
Every
one does
episode you've
feel,
mentioned that so far.
let me have my catchphrase now, Velocicoaster Fairgroundy.
Sorry, Russ.
Um, but not sorry. I just think I'm sure there's a bit of theme into it. They've probably, put some drawings, some pretty patterns or whatever on the outside. It probably looks okay in the land, but again, it's a little bit basic. For me, it's not pitching at the level that Epic is. And I think some of it is as much as I can handle spinny rides, I don't think I'm going to come off it feeling sick, but I'm not going to be going absolutely mental and spinning it as quick as I can. I think I'm going to go in for the more tame experience, let's say. So I think some of it is Epic can do better. It probably deserves better than this type of ride. And secondly, maybe I'm just a bit scared.
Wait, you're scared of a ride? You're.
I'm not actually scared, but I'm not sure how it'll make me feel.
I thought
So
you were
I will
the
be doing it, and
ultra adrenaline junkie.
I'm more of a speed type of
Speed.
roller coaster type thing, spinning, as you might see shortly when we come on to other spinny
Mm,
attractions. I've ranked maybe the lower end.
yeah, that's fair. So moving on to my number 9, I have got Constellation Carousel in my 9. It was bottom, but then I did what I always do. I overthought everything. I had a deeper think, and to be fair, I agree completely with what you said. I've written down exactly the same as what you said about Constellation Carousel. It is just a carousel, and it can only do so much. However, as far as carousels go, I mean, it surely has to be one of the coolest, if not the coolest in the world. I'm not a carousel expert. I don't know all of the carousels in the world. I'm
Come
sure there's
on,
some
Jay,
pretty
you're
cool
better than
ones.
that. You do.
I know. People are coming here for carousel talk, surely. But yeah, it looks really cool, like, especially at night with all the lights on. Yes, pretty light, Celestial Park, Sam. I'm going there again. I'm going for the aesthetic
No, I mean,
vibes.
to be fair, like Stardust and the light package is a big selling point for me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
all
I
bought
do
in.
think, in terms of, I know it's just a carousel, but it looks a pretty cool carousel.
I agree.
So that's my number 9.
So I didn't realize I'd put this at number 9 actually when I made the last comment about spinning rides,
You've already forgotten
but
your list.
I did it like 2 weeks ago. So my number 9 is an attraction which I could imagine is quite high up or at least middle of other people's lists. But for me, it's Curse of the Werewolf.
You're coming to me for hot takes. That's
Uh,
You've upset the Dark Universe mob last week, and now you're coming for them again.
no, I'm going for it. Well, hopefully they'll be more satisfied with wherever I've got the other ride.
Oh, spoiler
Um,
alert. Stay tuned until the end, guys.
but again, it's I don't want to go as far as saying fairgroundy, but
That is your catchphrase.
it's it's probably not too far away from there. Again, it's a spinner attraction, which again I can do, but I don't necessarily enjoy as much.
Do you know how
Um,
much it spins?
Not as much apparently as what people think.
Yeah, that's
Or
that's the one
I,
thing I've
I,
heard. It's not quite
yeah,
as spinny as what it looks, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I've heard that as well. So we will soon find out, I guess. And I think there is some animatronics on it. Again, trying to be spoiler free. I think there is some, but this is probably a strange reason to like punish it and really put it far down the list. But they've put, the nets they put around roller coasters, like to stop things flying off and hitting people.
Mm.
Apparently, just like everywhere on that attraction, they've just got nets now.
Yeah,
And I think it just looks quite ugly from like the pictures I've seen.
I've heard that as well. Yeah.
So again, the ride system's not doing a huge amount for me. Again, I think it might have been one of these where they just thought we have to put something maybe slightly more family friendly into Monsters to kind of try and balance it out a little bit.
Dark Universe.
And there we go. Sorry, so it's because I've only got the full names of the attractions here. I haven't got the full name of the lands.
Yeah.
And just that, yeah, the nets have kicked it down the list. It might be I ride it and I want to ride it again. It's gonna be one that Joey's looking forward to doing. But for me, number 9.
So next up for my number 8, I've gone for Fire Drill. Again, I don't know much about it. I know you're on a boat. It's slow. You spray people with water. Is it another boat you're spraying? I think I'm not sure. Not 100%.
I think you can spray another boat, but I think it's mainly targets. And whether
Targets.
the targets are actually equal in points or it's just something
Yeah.
to aim at as you're kind of going around, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I probably should have looked up something about the ride at least. And I know we're not doing spoilers, but like really are going in blind here. I just know I've seen a picture of some boats. That's about it. I
There
don't
we
know
go.
much else. I mean, you really are coming to this podcast for searing analysis here. But yeah, I haven't got much else to say. It looks like a water ride. I think it goes pretty slow. I think it's like you say, it's a shooting, spraying attraction. It'll be okay. You can potentially get a cool down on a hot day. So yeah, my number 8.
Yep, fair. My number 8 is Yoshi's Adventure. So your number 10.
Mm.
Again, exactly kind of what you've said, really. I
Yeah,
think from the bits that I've seen or heard that I didn't really want to, I think there is some cool stuff, especially maybe some of the indoor bits. I think just as a theme park fan, that kind of view of Nintendo as you are going round, I think that's probably why it's a few up the bottom, to be honest, just for the views
mm.
it's going to give. But
Yeah,
I have heard it is incredibly slow. And I think from what I've heard on other podcasts, there's like challenges or something that you should be kind of doing, but people have said it's basically that slow and that boring. You almost forget what you're supposed to be doing.
right.
So yeah, I think if you're going in for it just for the bit of relaxing, just seeing some of the sights, yeah. But how many times you're going to do that on a trip? Not so sure. So yeah, number 8, looking forward to experiencing it, seeing what I can see. But again, I think it's maybe a one and done for the next trip.
I don't know. I'm guessing it might be one of those attractions that has a long wait time, quite a lot. I don't know. I'm guessing with that. Obviously, not at the minute, maybe, but it could be one of those. Obviously, it's very kid friendly in Nintendo Land. I'm guessing it'll be the weaker of the three attractions in that land as well.
Yeah, should we have a look now? Have a look.
Why not? It's not that you've checked them before today, is it?
Well, it was 5 minutes in early park admission. I know that.
But the height of the day, I'm guessing it'll be one of those that gets quite busy. Um,
To give you an idea, Donkey Kong is delayed. Shock, been down there all day, I think.
yeah. Oh,
Mario Kart is 15 minutes.
not too bad. At what
Yoshi's
time is it?
Adventure 25.
3:30, 4:30. Okay. But yeah, once the park opens, obviously these wait times will plummet, you expect. Is
That the right way, plummet?
that the wrong way?
I think that's the right way.
Skyrocket.
Yeah, let's
I,
do
I
that.
wish they'd plummet, but I think they're only going to go upwards.
I
So no,
agree.
yeah, that's fair. It looks like I said, it's a kids ride, isn't it? Predominantly. Let's be fair.
Yep.
Moving on to my number 7. Interesting one, this.
Better not be. It better not be, Jay.
What do you think it is?
If it's a certain dueling roller coaster, I think we need to get Cassie on the phone to to stand in the middle of us right now.
Yeah, it's Stardust Races. What am I supposed to do? What am I? Where am I supposed to put
Oh,
that?
I'm stuck. Oh, there we go. I'm
Where was
back.
I supposed to put it? Number two, because I'm such an adrenaline junkie, coaster loving person. I can't put it. To be fair, I thought the other way around. I was thinking, can I put it that high? Because
Yeah, to be fair, I haven't quite got it at number seven, but I can accept that from your perspective.
this is
So
someone that, like I said, doesn't even know if he's going to ride it. Some people have said it's more intense than Velocicoaster. Some people have said the other way around. Obviously, it looks amazing. There's no denying that. I have seen, obviously, Universal posted the POV themselves. It looks, it looks amazing. As you know, Sam, it's got a homage to Back to the Future on the back, so that bumps it up a few spots anyway, just for
yeah,
that alone. Um, but yeah, I don't know what to say. What am I supposed to say? It looks incredible for coaster lovers. I am not a coaster lover per se. I mean, I do love coasters, but maybe not the ones you love, like the Hagrid's
Flight of the
ones.
Hippogriff mall level.
No, I can't fit in that, right? So yeah, as I said, I have no idea what to say about Stardust Races other than it looks amazing. Who knows if I'm going to go on it? Obviously, I want to because now I'm kind of in my coaster era. I guess I'm fully on board the coaster train.
Front
But
row,
yeah,
hands up, eyes wide open.
let's just keep the eyes closed for now. As long as I get on it and survive, I'm happy. So yeah, that was probably the toughest for me to rank because I don't know. Like, put yourself in my shoes. What would you have done if it's something obviously you've got a phobia of? Not phobia, mind over matter.
I'd have put it at number one. I'd have gone for it, Jay. I'd have
You've
thought, you
not
know what, I'm going to
you've
embrace
not got it
this.
one.
We'll
You
see,
imagine
won't we?
imagine if I put it number one.
The issue you've made for yourself
There
is
we go.
you've given in to the bullies in the past.
I have.
We wanted you to ride Velocicoaster.
Do you
We were
know?
telling you had to do
Do
it,
you
and
know
you were no,
why?
no, and then you did it.
Because I'm weak, Sam.
You are, and you
I'm
know what?
weak.
You're going to be riding Stardust before we knew it.
The people of Instagram are very convincing, I tell you. They were just not stopping. Like, it was relentless, the DMs. It was relentless. And that was on a solo trip. And my mind was like, I need to do that. I'm going off on a tangent. I'm going back to that dark day. And it was a dark morning. It was a cloudy, rainy morning. And yeah, I
It
gave
was
in.
dark on the
But
ride as well because you had your eyes shut.
it was very dark. It's always dark on that ride, to be fair.
What I
um,
want to know is, was the bullying more or less than the amount of chicken tender memes that you get sent?
to be fair, I've been sent a few more tonight.
Yes.
No, it was more than that. It was a lot. But like joking aside, I wanted to do it for myself and for the DMs to stop. But yeah, for myself mainly. um, so yeah, I'm hoping to do it because I feel like it's. I mean, I feel like it's not as intense as Velocicoaster. I don't know. Obviously, some people said it is. It might be. Obviously, they've said it gets more airtime, which is potentially a worry for me. I don't know. I don't know if I prefer kind of thrashing like the first half of Velocicoaster or the airtime. It depends because the top hat on Velocicoaster, I still can't believe how smooth it is, and it doesn't really get my stomach like that. I couldn't believe how
Talking
smooth
like a
it
real
was.
fanboy here.
I know what's going on. Maybe do you know what? I probably do actually like them if I just let myself fully go, but it's just something holding me back. Anyway,
The good thing about Stardust, at least, is one side, which is the left side. I don't know what if it's yellow or green. Don't know what the actual names are, but I think the left side is slightly less intense. So at least you have got that option that if you were going to go for it.
when you say less intense, how much less
I,
intense is
I,
it?
I I will let you know in a couple of weeks' time.
Thank you. You'll just lie anyway.
Yeah, I will. So my number seven is Fire Drill for
Seven, that's
obviously
high. Is that just for Joey reasons, surely?
more L to be honest with you, because it's probably there's
Okay, you can all
only
do it.
two attractions in Epic Universe that we can all do together. You got Constellation Carousel and then this. So
Okay.
this one kind of
Yeah,
wins.
that's
And
fair. That's fair.
I think again you probably will see some bits of Isle of Burke. You know, it's probably quite good. It's going to be interactive, like you say, on a warm day. Bit of splashing. Yeah, should be good.
She'll probably enjoy it as will Joey. I know Joey don't like water, does he? We found that out last trip. He doesn't like getting splashed.
Doesn't like getting splashed, no, not on
Has that
Spider-Man, that
changed at
Prince
all?
Wellman's. Don't know. We'll find out, won't we, in August?
What was it? Was it on Gringotts with the little splash that you didn't like?
Well, we saw the face, didn't we, on Jurassic Park River Adventure?
Brilliant, brilliant picture
So,
that. He loves it.
but he loves it. No, Spider-Man, Transformers.
Spider-Man.
Uh, Gringotts he didn't like because of the darkness, but he's excited and looking forward to coming onto the podcast anyway and being interviewed. He asked me yesterday,
Spoiler
actually,
alert.
is he going to, spoiler alert, he asked me yesterday if it's going to be Universal or Disney. I said Universal, he said good. So,
Universally speaking, Joey, come on.
actually, we need to talk positively about Disney because Disneyland wasn't happy that we were
Right,
talking
Joey,
great
first
things about.
question. How much do you hate Disney?
I'll be like, what's Disney?
He's like, I've not been there recently. Recency bias. Right, so my number 6 is Curse of the Werewolf. Yeah,
It's like,
interesting. Yeah, yeah. Another bit of a difficult one for me to rank. I don't do well on spinning coasters. For example, Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind. It makes me really squiffy. I come off looking a bit green, shall we say? Even though I absolutely love it. It is a fantastic
what, were you
ride.
going to pay like $200 each by the time you put Ubers in to go to Epcot for the day just to ride Guardians?
Yeah, but we both love it. I mean, Elle loves it as well. It is. I mean, wait till you. I can't wait to hear what you think about it. I can't wait. Should we just talk all things
Well,
Disney?
I think that's what the people want, isn't it? They're not here for Universal. So, who's your favorite princess?
um, moving on. So yeah, I love Guardians, but I do feel a bit weird on it. So I'm a little bit concerned about Curse of the Werewolf. Again, I don't know anything about the inside portion of the ride. You mentioned that there is kind of some animatronics, I think, which would be cool. Again, I'm sure theming wise, it'll be incredible. It's just an absolute given. I have heard it's quite short as well, which could play a part into it. But yeah, I'm sure it's still pretty decent. But thankfully, like you said earlier, it might not spin as much as some people are saying, or as much as what we thought initially. I do remember seeing some kind of bio reconstruct videos from above, and I was very worried at that point. But
Yeah,
thankfully, people have said it's not quite as bad as it seems. So yeah, it's my number 6.
my number six is one that again I struggled to place, to be honest.
Yeah, it's the middle ones that are
I
the toughest, isn't it?
and it could have gone higher. I don't think it could have probably gone lower, but I think it could have potentially gone higher.
All right, Bruce
And
Forsyth.
it's
That's a real one for the UK fans
I
out
was going to say the American listeners, or the American listener, would probably got like one out there.
there.
Well, they've probably got three in the UK, to be fair.
Yeah.
Um, no idea of that reference. So this one, I'm really not sure about whether this ride is going to hold up,
I don't know what you're
whether
going
it's
to say
going to.
here. I've got no idea where you're going with this. Go on.
I don't know the re-rideability. I don't know if it is just going to work. I've heard people say it's better to ride it as intended. I've heard people say it's better to ride it in the unintended way, and that is Mario Kart's Bowser's Challenge.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting.
I could get on it
See what you
and
mean,
love
yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and I could want to go straight on it again. I could be like, right, I've done that. Get me on some more non-screen based rides.
Yeah.
Like I say, I've heard people saying actually it's better without the VR headset. Like I just really don't know what to make of it. And
Can you choose
what
not to have the headset?
take it off? Yes,
I guess so. Yeah. Breaking the
yes,
rules.
yeah. I don't know, like from I'm presuming the throughput and the loading must be okay, but like if having to clean that between riders, like I just don't know logistically the input. So I think that's got a good queue. Like I'm excited to go on it and the queue, but I just don't know where it's going to stand longer term for me. So yeah, middle of the road, number six. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Interesting that one. Yeah, no, I agree with what you said. What you said. It's a tough one, and I'll come on to it shortly. But it's one of those ones that I'm really excited for. But other people have said it's not quite as good as they thought it was going to be. So I'm kind of withdrawing my excitement just based on other people, which I know is not what you should be doing. But yeah, we'll come on to where I've got
And I know it's new for
feelings.
us, but it's still the fact it's in two other parks as well. Maybe takes the shine off a little bit of it.
Yeah. So shout out to Helios from Argentina who I met at Universal last year. He sent me his list earlier, spoiler alert, and he had it at number 11. But he said it was just because he's done it before and it's not something new. However, I did say to him, surely it can't be that good still, and if it's number 11.
Still number 11, yeah.
So that was interesting. So that's like, I'm a bit worried myself, but yeah, I'll come on to it later, I'm sure. I could have been number one, you don't know. So into our top fives then. Now it's getting interesting. And number 5, I've gone for Minecraft Madness, Donkey Kong. And again, I know I've said this a lot for other rides, but I haven't really seen anything about the ride other than a tiny bit of the kind of the track portion where it comes like away from the track or whatever. So I don't really know again what to say. This is a poor podcast. We're just talking about rides. We haven't seen anything. We're just guessing completely, basically. We're just guessing about a ride that we're going to ride in the future. Like we've seen
just boring British people. We needed some American.
I do.
We needed Cassie.
I know. I do apologize, but it's tough because we don't want to be spoiled. But then we're ranking rides based on not knowing what they're about.
This should have been like episode 30 of the podcast. We should have got like an established base, and people could have listened and gone, well, that was a bit naff, but the other podcasts were generally all right, so I'll give them another go.
I know
we've lost them, Jay. We've lost them.
I know. It's episode 4 is where it's gone. But I hope people can kind of understand where I'm coming from, especially ones that are avoiding spoilers. I don't know if you've seen more than me. Other people have been hyping it up quite a lot, again, which makes me more excited, even though I have different tastes to other people. And like I mentioned, I know the track system is unique, I believe, which is cool and something a bit different to what we've seen before at Universal. And it's Donkey Kong themed, so come on, it's going to be pretty good.
My number 5.
These big pauses, it's like you're going to come out with something outlandish.
I think from your perspective, it could be, to be honest.
Oh, you've not, have you? You've not put it at 5.
I have put it at 5.
The podcast will not be here in a minute if you say it's what I think it's.
And I'm going to give it its full name treatment.
It's not. No, it's not.
Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry is my number 5.
I don't know what to say. I can't say that. Can you be sacked from a podcast? Just Google that. That is. Do you know what? I wasn't expecting something to be. I mean, fair enough. Last episode, I guess I went something a bit controversial. You've topped it. You've topped it.
So again, I'll rewind to what we said at the start of the podcast. My hype list versus what I think I will enjoy the most are 2 different things. So I could imagine this being
thing, though.
No, because hype list is just what I'm looking for, like most excited to experience. But once I've experienced everything, it might be that I've enjoyed it more than potentially some of the others, and therefore it'll be higher on my list.
So go on then. Why is it your number 5?
We're still top 5 here. It's not that bad.
Oh, come on. Out of 11.
So, again, there's only so much I know about it, but as we mentioned on the Land episode, I'm a little bit Harry Potter fatigued. So I think that plays into it a little bit. Whilst I think there are, by the sounds of it, some cool elements to the ride, it is predominantly screen-based. So that takes a bit of a hit. You've got the unreliability at the minute. You've got the fact it's a virtual queue. I, at the minute, cannot get overly hyped for something that across 2 days there, I might not even get to experience.
Right, so you've literally taken everything into account where I'm just thinking about the ride.
I'm thinking, Harry Potter, that's good. Put that number 1. For me, like I said, there's no Harry Potter ride at the minute that I would put, my top 3, potentially, maybe even my top 5 at Universal as it stands. Actually, Hagrid's. Take that back.
I'm gonna say.
I take that back. Yeah. No, but I mean, that's probably loosely Harry Potter. To be fair, isn't it? It's more a coaster.
Too far. That was close to the end podcast.
I could imagine longer term this is going to be maybe 3rd in terms of like actual top rankings, but at the minute, yeah.
What 3rd in Epic?
3rd at Epic. Once I've ridden everything, I could imagine it'll be maybe up there. But at the minute, it's number 5.
Wow, that's a massive shock. I literally was not expecting that, but Like, I mean, my catchphrase, each to their own. I mean, you've taken, I completely agree with what you said. Like, it's down a lot of the minute. Virtual line it's so tough to get one from what I've seen. It's kind of luck of the draw. So, in terms of what you said, yeah, you are right.
And I'd rather go in underhyped and be surprised as opposed to there's so much talk about it. Going in with expectations like it's going to be here. I'm actually off camera up there, and it comes in there. I'd rather think that
That's great for
and
the
be
audio
pleasantly
listeners. That
surprised
is.
and come up.
Sam's doing some kind of scale with his hand.
To be fair, my hand scale that they can't work out what's going on is still probably better than what they can hear. So we'll go with it.
So if
But
you
yeah,
if you if you were thinking about just the ride itself, nothing else, would it still be five on your list? Just put you on the spot there.
I'd have to go back to my list. But
Right, we go. Let's go and
whilst I
dissect it up
love
again.
Spider-Man, I think I've more of a physical ride person, if that makes
You
sense.
don't say. I'd never have guessed that.
Well,
You
yeah,
love the
but like
coasters. Yes, we know
I
that.
love the coasters, but I feel like a coaster goes around the same track, but you kind of get in that feel
Mm.
versus Spider-Man I absolutely love, and that I'd say is in my top three of general attractions. But I just feel like there's only so many times you can do the same screen ride over and over again versus more physical rides, which
Surely you
is
could say the same about roller coasters. There's only so many times you could do the same coaster.
yeah,
Is that
but
not?
it's putting physical force in your body, isn't it? Where I
Yeah,
find more
yeah. But
enjoyment.
just to
Yeah.
play devil's advocate, like I don't get bored of screen rides. I love them. I can keep doing them because that's kind of what I enjoy doing the most. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it does. Each to
Cool.
their own.
Glad we agreed on that.
Just be glad I'm not calling it fairgroundy. I mean,
That
I'm
would.
saying it's above that.
I keep saying that would be too far, but you're pushing your
But
luck, Sam. Yeah.
like number five today, but I could see number three maybe longer term.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's your list. No one else's.
And I mean, you've got it number four anyway, so what does it matter?
I haven't. My number four is Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. Again, this was slightly higher on my initial list, but it's just dropped down ever so slightly. Again, it's probably due to me tinkering. I need to just like write the list and then like lock it somehow so I can't edit it again, like you seem to do. Again, I don't know much about the ride. I've not really watched any POVs of it from Hollywood. I think I might have seen a couple of clips. But I'm a huge Mario Kart fan. Love the game. Love the characters. So theming wise, the queue itself will be outstanding. Although I did see a picture of some stairs in the queue, which I've heard there's a lot of stairs at Epic Universe.
Stairs
And
and
these,
concrete. There you go.
yeah, yeah,
That's what does it for you.
exactly. I'm not saying stairs good in a good way, by the way. Stairs in a bad way, just
Yeah.
to clear that up. Um, and obviously, it's a completely new ride system as well that I've personally never been on before. With it, as we mentioned earlier, with it being like the VR headset, whether you want to wear it or not. I mean, I do think you look a bit stupid in them, but who cares really? um, but yeah, what worries me though is how low down other people have put it on their lists. I don't know if that was
Mm.
before going or if they've actually been on it. It's already kind of planting a very small like seed of doubt in my own head that it might not be as good as what I'm imagining or hoping. Again, because like I said, I absolutely love Mario Kart. The game's so good. So like a Mario Kart VR ride to me sounds incredible, especially with Universal doing it, of course. But yeah, it was slightly high, but it's just bumped down to the four spot. But still, it's a lot higher than a lot of other people have it, I think.
Fair, fair. Can I go back to my number five?
What's happened now? What have you done?
I've only
Are you
made one
tinkering?
note. No, I'm not tinkering. I've
Oh,
only made one note on my list of like, that's words. Literally the only one, and I still forgot to say it.
did it say
It's one of
fairground?
the, it's not fairground, you know. One of the other things that put Harry Potter and the Battle Administrator full name treatment a little bit lower on my list is I've heard some people saying about motion sickness,
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
and
Cassie
that is
mentioned
one
that
thing
in
that
her list actually.
can, yeah. So that was one of the reasons as well that I might come off it and be absolutely fine.
It's too late now. You can't backtrack now. It's too late. Damage is
No,
done.
and I'm just more cementing why it is number five. I'm not
Okay, yeah,
moving it.
right.
So my number four, probably another unpopular one.
Oh, not another one.
another one. And again, to be honest, this is one of those that I want to rush through pretty early on in the day and get done. But my number four is Monsters Unchained: The Frankenstein Experiment.
Sam, what are you playing at? What are you doing? I, is this like rage bait? It has to be. It has to be rage bait. You've got Battle of the Ministry 5 and Monsters Unchained 4.
And
Go on, go
generally
on.
out there when people are talking about their lists, those two plus another one make up
Mm,
their top three.
yeah.
So again, I'm expecting um, from an animatronic perspective to be impressed. I think like visually, this ride is going to be up there, if not top of the list.
Hmm.
But as we talked a little bit on the area land last week, just monsters for me, it's not an IP that I feel that strongly about. So for me, I think the ride will be really, really good, but I can't get overly hyped because the IP isn't top of my list or that close to the top
That's
of my
that's
list.
interesting because I'm the same with you in terms of Dark Universe. Like the land, again, I don't know, upset anyone, but Dark Universe to me, it doesn't resonate with me. It's not an IP that I absolutely love, exactly the same as you. But just hearing and seeing stuff about the ride, and obviously I'll come onto it soon. Obviously, it's basically the same as Forbidden Journey with the Kook around system. Forbidden Journey is one of my all-time favorite rides. So
Not
it's
mine.
no, we know it's not yours, no. Um, but yeah, like it doesn't matter in terms of the IP for me. The ride looks again. I'll come on to mine shortly. It's your turn to explain your
I've
reason.
got nothing further to add, to be honest.
I
I
mean,
think it's going to be up there. I think it's going to be great.
I'm
I'm
just so
expecting
I'm
to want
so
to
so
rewrite it.
pleased that it's not me getting the heat this week. You're
That's
actually, I
fine.
think you're quite lucky. Cassie's not here because she would be
That's his number one, then, is
speechless.
it?
To be fair, I don't actually know, but I know that she's not got them 4 and 5, as obviously I've not as well. So it would have been interesting because it could have been we could have ganged up on you. I missed a real opportunity here. So Cassie, if
Go
you're
on then.
listening, you missed out on giving Sam some stick. But no, I mean it's your list. Who else is to comment on it? I mean it's literally
And
my job to comment
once
on
I've
it.
been out there, I'll do my actual list of what I've enjoyed the most or what
That will be really
what
interesting to see how different your list is once you come back because I reckon it could be incredibly different.
hmm? I think it will. I think based on what I'm most excited, I think some of them that I said will be a one and kind of right. There's nothing that's going to live up to that first bit. There isn't as much re-rideability. I think there's going to be some movers, and like we said, we're going into this somewhat blind because other than the odd bit of spoiler that we've tried to avoid, but we've ended up seeing, I don't know a huge amount. Like in terms of this ride, I've seen bits of the animatronics from the official videos that Universal put out on YouTube, maybe last year or whenever it was. But
Yeah.
apart from that, and the fact it's a Kukram, I know nothing about it. So
So it's basically just because of the IP doesn't really appeal to you. That's the main reason you say.
yeah, but I might be blown away and it might be up there still.
So my into our top threes now. My number three is Hiccup's Wing Gliders. It's a mini Hagrid's themed to How to Train Your Dragon. What is not to like? It had to be up there. It's literally. I mentioned it last week. I think I finally finished the trilogy of the films now. Unbelievable. One of the best trilogies of all time, in my opinion. So my excitement levels for Isle of Burke has gone through the roof. Everyone knows my love for Hagrid's. That's pretty much it. I don't know how many Hagrids we're talking. Like how child friendly is the coaster? I'm not too sure, but nevertheless, I'm still really excited for it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's 50 miles an hour or I just got that in my head
Also, it's
for
pretty
another
pretty
reason.
nippy.
But yeah, that's it. I think it's got a couple of launches. And I think another good selling point for me is apparently good literally all around the land. So you
Oh,
get
really?
great views of everything that's going on if you've
Brilliant.
got your eyes open, of course.
I think I can
So
do that one.
yeah.
Wait for
And
you to
that's
say
to be
it's not.
honest.
You'll just say
Go
it's
on.
not intense enough for you.
Oh, well, it's my number three as well, to be fair.
Oh, well,
Okay,
take it
quite
away.
aligned on that one.
Anything else
Yeah,
to
and
add?
again, from my perspective, as I did this list when I was expecting to ride these things for the first time with Joey. That's going to be, I think, probably his favorite coaster once he has ridden it. So, yeah, really looking forward to that one. Doing it on by myself, but even more so looking to experience that with him in August.
How many coasters has Joey done? What kind of levels is kind of
Uh,
obviously he's done Jurassic Park, but in terms of like actual roller coasters, obviously he's done Flight of the Hippogriff.
yeah, so he's done that kind of
It would this be his kind
level.
of biggest coaster to date?
This one will be once he's done this,
Okay,
yeah. So he's done like Slinky Dog, and there's a few at Disney that he could do and will do this year, but he just hasn't got round to them because of
that's two
he's
mentions
not
for
been
Disney
Chris.
now.
I know. That's I've got Disney Ant on my mind. So like on our next Disney trip, third mention, he's going to be able to do Everest. That's going to be a big coaster for him, and obviously some
I don't get on well with Everest, so that'll be interesting. A
yeah, the
backwards
backwards
part
portion.
gets
Almost,
me.
yeah. He would have been able to do Big Thunder, but that's shut for maintenance. Yeah, so he's got some big sort of rides coming up this year, and like I say, next year he'll be able to do Hagrid's and the like. So he's getting
Yes,
there now.
the
Yeah.
best ride.
Hiccup Swing Gliders, number three.
So is that the only one we've got the same, or was there one lower down that was the same?
No, that's the only one.
Well, we've agreed on one ride, one ride
Yeah,
only.
we can't agree on the last two, so
We
yeah.
literally can't. No. So yeah, my number two is Monsters Unchained. I still can't believe you got it that low. That low. Again, I've pretty much said everything I need to say when you mentioned it and brought all the anger out in me. For those that don't know, I'm a huge Forbidden Journey fan. Islands of Adventure, it's one of my all-time favorite rides. Always will be. I know Sam hates it. Sam always complains that the screens are too blurry. It doesn't get me sick, which I'm very very thankful for. I know it makes loads of other people sick. That's fine. And this is basically a brand new Forbidden Journey, obviously with the Kukuram system. Obviously, it's not based on Harry Potter. It's based on classic monsters, which, as I mentioned before, it's not one of my favorite IPs. It's not something that screams out to me, but just a brand new version of. I can see you itching to say something, Sam, already. A brand new version of Forbidden Journey with, and the animatronics look amazing, as we mentioned in the videos released last year. The theming looks incredible. The facade of the castle. I just think, even though the IP is not my favorite, I love the ride system. I love the kind of how it all works. So it has to be right up there for me. Nothing to say. I've actually said something worthwhile.
I think it's going to be my top three. It's just not today.
So how many lists have you got going on? You've got like what you think you're going to like, what you're most excited for, most hyped.
Well, I think when we get onto my number one shortly, that is going to be an interesting one.
See,
That is very much
it's so anyway. I'll save my comments for that when we get to it. Your number two.
my number two is probably going to be the one that is number one longer term.
Oh, so you aren't going where I
But
thought.
I'm going number two is Stardust Racers for me. So
Wow,
excited. So excited. Obviously when I did my list, as I've
what have
mentioned a
you
few
put number
times,
one?
we'll
I
see, will
genuinely
we?
can't figure it out. Anyway, carry on.
Stardust cannot wait to ride. You know, my plan is very much both sides in the day, both sides at night. Want to get some front row, some back row if I can. You know, it'd be really interesting to see how it stacks up to Velocicoaster you mentioned earlier on, which again I've heard similar things. Some people say more intense, some people say less intense, but being able to get another dueling coaster and experience some of the bits that are on this ride, no, cannot wait. Lighting package I've heard is really good as well. You know, as a roller coaster fan, it is very high on my hype list. Really excited to give it a go. It's not where I'm going to rush to when the park opens for early park admission. That is something potential that's higher up on my list in the number one space. But yeah, Stardust, it's going to be really interesting to see how it compares to Velocicoaster. So at the minute, if people don't know, Velocicoaster is my number one attraction, you know, ever. And we'll
So
see if that's still the case.
with your coaster hat on, what's your gut telling you? Do you think it's got a chance of being better than Velocicoaster in your opinion, or where are you kind of sitting on that?
I think if you're just looking at the physical coaster bit, I think it has got a chance. But I think then when you put the theme in of Jurassic World on,
Yeah,
I think
you
that
don't
could
sound like you
still,
fully believe it's going to be better. Velocicoaster, I
yeah,
think might always have your heart.
I think it probably will. And you know, thinking back to our first trip as a family and post COVID, the first attraction we did when we got back to Florida was Velocicoaster, and then it
Mhm.
was Hagrid's. Had it been the other way, I might have had a very different opinion of Hagrid's.
Mhm.
But because for me, it was early park admission the first morning, Velocicoaster. It was everything I wanted and more.
Yeah.
I think that's always going to have a special place in my heart.
Just to go off on a tangent, do you know how many times you've been on Voscos? Have you kept like a tally?
No, I haven't kept a tally, but I reckon over the,
Past 50, surely.
I think past 30 over the 5 trips, but
'Cause I think I'm on 40 for Hagrid's. I think it's
I think
around
you've
there.
probably done more than, yeah,
I win that one then.
you win that
And
one.
it's harder to get on, so there you go. Everyone's guessed what my number one is. It's pretty obvious. I think I've made it pretty clear, probably on my various social media platforms as well. I probably made it clear in previous episodes on here too. But my number one is Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. Incredible. It looks absolutely incredible. From what I've heard, I know you mentioned it a bit briefly before. It's an amalgamation of some of my favorite rides. Again, I don't want to give anything away, but obviously Spider Man was mentioned and kind of a Tower of Terror style, albeit that's not my favorite ride, but Universal with the Harry Potter attractions just seem to get better and better and better. Spin Journey and then Escape from Gringotts and then Hagrid. It's like, can they keep topping it? I don't know if they can, especially with being Hagrid's, obviously, but they just seem to just keep improving on these Harry Potter attractions. I don't know what it is. I mean, the queue alone looks absolutely out of this world. Like, I would pay to just go through the queue alone, let alone the whole attraction. It's bigger and grander than anything they've ever done. It's like something new. They're kind of using different ride techniques and what have you. Yeah, I can't wait. I genuinely cannot wait for this ride. It has to be my number one. And like I say, in terms of the Tower of Terror aspect, I didn't really like Tower of Terror last year when I did it for the first time. Um, but yeah, it looks unbelievable. Granted, I've not seen any spoilers. I've not seen anything. I personally not sure if it's going to be Spin Journey or Hagrid's just because I love those attractions so much. But it's something shiny, brand new. I mean, I keep not seeing spoilers, but seeing people post pictures of the queue, and I scroll away so quickly. But I mean, the queue alone looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it does.
I can't find the superlatives anymore to describe how ridiculous it all looks. And again, like you said, I might go on it, and it might not be my cup of tea. That's a real English phrase for all of our American listeners. A real cup of tea, real cup of Mountain Dew. That's better. But yeah, it's one of those. Like I said, I don't really know much about what happens in the ride. Well, to be fair, I know nothing about what happens in the ride. I really don't have a clue.
To spoil anything, I wouldn't be too worried about the Tower of Terror element.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. But so yeah, that's my number one. It has been. It was never not going to be a number one. Obviously, it's Harry Potter themed rather than Fantastic Beasts, which I'm a much bigger fan of.
Big win. Yeah. So my number one is the attraction that I'm most hyped for, most looking forward to riding,
Can't believe this.
albeit with Joey.
That has to be the biggest reason.
It is. It is. In some ways I'm thinking, do I just not ride it until August?
Is
I'm
this
not
just because
gonna
you're
be.
feeling bad that you're going without him next month? Is that the real reason?
This list
You
was
might
done
listen.
long before I booked my
Okay, I'll let you
getaway
off.
trip. But I think in terms of, let's say, riding it with him,
Have you said what
the
it is yet?
elements. Oh, I thought it was just implies. So
Say
my
what it is.
my number one is Mario Kart Madness.
Mario Kart.
So I can't even read. I've got it in front of
After
me.
all that, the people
All
have
right,
got
we'll
through
rewind.
like however long this is. The Mario Kart madness. I mean, it's a
We'll
great
cut this out.
amalgamation of the
We're
two
cutting it.
rides.
It's gone. It's gone.
That's staying in. That one. That is staying
That's
in.
not Mine Kart Madness. Oh, dearie me. Dearie me.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's your best one
It's
yet.
because I just know it's Donkey Kong, but you don't allow me to say that, do you? So
Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. Go on, carry on.
my number one is Donkey Kong.
No, it's Mario Kart staying in the Mario Kart madness. We all know what you meant, I think.
Yeah. So I think just from what that ride is about and visually kind of how you think you're going to be doing one thing, but the reality is something different. Yeah, I'm just hyped to experience it. Most looking forward to it. And this comes back to those things I mentioned earlier. Do I think this is going to be anywhere near my top five once I've ridden it once? No, but it's the unlike anything that I've ridden before. I think it's probably unlike anything out there attraction wise, at least in Florida, if not the world. So really looking forward to it. Big Nintendo fan, big Mario and Donkey Kong fan, and I just cannot wait to get into that land and to experience it. And obviously, we were on Russ's podcast together. It was my number one at that point as well in terms of most looking forward to, and lo and behold, still is.
No, that's brilliant. That is. That's really tickle.
Up the Mario Kart madness. Go on.
Be a great ride.
Okay, that can be the second piece of merch.
I need to make a note of this. So just to recap, starting with myself, I had Dragon Racers Rally 11, Yoshi's Adventure 10, Constellation Carousel in 9, Fire Drill 8, Stardust Racers in 7, Curse of the Werewolf in 6, Minecart Madness in 5, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge in 4, Hiccups Wing Gliders in 3, Monsters Unchained in 2, and Battle of the Ministry number 1.
And my list was number 11, Constellation Carousel, number 10, Dragon Racers Rally, number 9, Curse of the Werewolf, number 8, Yoshi's Adventure, 7, Fire Drill, number 6, Mario Kart, 5, Battle of the Ministry, number 4, Monsters Unchained, 3, Hiccups Wing Gliders, number 2, Stardust Racers, and number 1, Minecart, aka Mario Kart Madness.
Didn't even say Donkey Kong. As we mentioned at the start, Cassie unfortunately couldn't make this recording tonight, but she did send in her list, so we'll go through that quickly now and then pick up anything we think is interesting. So at 11, Cassie had Fire Drill. 10, she had Dragon Racers Rally. At 9, she had Yoshi's Adventure. At 8, she had Constellation Carousel. 7, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. 6, Curse of the Werewolf. 5, Minecart Madness. 4, Hiccups Wing Gliders. 3, Stardust Racers. 2, Battle of the Ministry. And 1, Monsters Unchained. Yeah, she made a few notes on what she sent me. So, Constellation Carousel, she loves the nighttime ride vibes, which is what I said as well. Mario Kart, motion sick inducing, apparently, which I don't think we mentioned or not. Could play a part.
Did not know that, yeah.
She also mentioned the same thing for Curse of the Werewolves, as we've touched on, spinning coaster and motion sickness. Hiccups Wing Glider, she said, heard it similar to Hagrid's, which she loves. Anything jump out at you there, Sam?
I don't think so. I can't argue with her list, to be honest. Some things
got the
are
right
quite
top
similar.
two.
We've got, maybe I could argue with that, but yeah. I'm interested to hear what our 7 listeners had put forward as their list, to be honest.
No, I managed to get 10 in the end, including my partner, but that's by the by. Yeah, so as well as Cassie's list, we've also got a combined list from some of our followers on social media, which I should have put it out earlier to get more responses, but I got some, and it's quite interesting. So the listeners have got 11 Constellation Carousel, 10 Dragon Racers Rally, 9 Fire Drill, 8 Yoshi's Adventure, 7 Curse of the Werewolf, 6 Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, and then a massive jump up to number 5, Minecart Madness, Stardust Racers number 4,
Ooh.
Hiccups Wing Gliders number 3. Sorry, they're joint third, actually. Hiccups and Stardust Racers, joint third.
Yep.
Battle of the Ministry number 2, and Monsters Unchained just taking the win. So yeah, there's 2 points in it between the top two. When I first started collecting all of the data in its masses, Monsters Unchained was far and away clear number 1, but a few late submissions pulled back Battle of the Ministry. Hiccups and
not the ones where you were asking Ella to start.
Yeah, I was like, just
do
say
your list, but make sure number 1. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then put
I was
Monsters
quite gutted.
last.
I
So
was gutted it didn't get up there in the end. But yeah, Mario Kart was, I think it was eighth when I first started doing them, which I couldn't believe how low it was. But yeah, sixth it finished. So I think that's probably all about fair. It's pretty fair list, I think.
yeah, I haven't looked
There's nothing
completely, but I
too.
feel like probably quite similar to Cassie's in many respects, to be honest. So maybe she's most aligned with the listeners. So I've totted up mine, yours, and Cassie's scores. So number 11 on our combined list was Dragon Racers Rally. Number 10, Constellation Carousel. Number 9, Yoshi's Adventure. Number 8, Fire Drill. Number 7, Curse of the Werewolf. So bang on with what the listeners were saying. Number 6, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. Again, the same. Number 5 for us was Stardust Race. What? Yeah, you've well and truly screwed us over there, but okay. Number 5, apparently Stardust
Hurry up.
Races. Number 4, Minecart Madness. Number 3, Hiccup Swing Gliders. Number 2, Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. And number 1, Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment.
Right then, it felt like a long episode, that one, but I think that will do it. As always, do get in touch with us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, X, wherever it may be. Send in your epic ride hype list to us. Let us know if you agree more with me or Sam. I mean, surely you agree more with me on that one. Surely some of Sam's takes were controversial. Thankfully, it was him being controversial this week and not me. The heat's off me for at least 1 week. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Keep on speaking Universal.